Hello everyone, welcome to my show. I'm the Empath.
And I'm Jason.
And welcome to a special vlog talk in honor of Valentine's Day. And as you can tell by the title, I'm gonna give you some do's and don'ts of some Valentine's Day type things. And it's basically we're just gonna give you do's and don'ts of how to pursue getting into a relationship.
Because who better to get love advice from than some random dude and a skull?
Yeah. I mean, you're not gonna find that kind of advice anywhere else.
Really?
Are you?
What about Craig Ferguson and Jeff, the robotic skeleton?
It's different. Come on, give us some credit, man.
All
right. So, just kind of coming up with some do's and don'ts off of the top of my head. And
off the top of your head, you have lists typed up on your computer.
I came up with them off the top of my head, but I'm not gonna read them off the top of my head because otherwise this video is just gonna be a lot of ums.
Whatever.
Anyway, alright, so let's start with some things that are some do's for either gender. The first thing you need to do is be comfortable with who you are. If you're not comfortable with who you are, then you're going to be kind of awkward in just about anything you do. Try to be comfortable with who you are. For example, I'm crazy, I'm wacky, I'm weird. I mean, come on, if you watch my channel, if you watch any of my other videos, you might be able to glean a little bit of that crazy. And then, well, Jason's a skull.
Whoa, what do you mean by that?
I'm not saying anything about that. I'm just saying it's not quite normal, and I don't mean that as an offense. I mean, come on, being normal, that's boring. And I'm not meaning to offend you if you're normal, but try being a little more weird. I mean, come on.
You're rambling, dude.
Okay, fine. I'll get back to things. We want to actually build a friendship. There are some people who they can go into a relationship just right off the bat and go into it instantly. But there's some people who they're not so good at doing that. Plus, if you're spending all this time to build a friendship, you two know each other better, so there's a chance it could work better. Get to know them. That's part of the whole point of being friends and of dating. There are some people you want to figure out a little bit of their crazy before you actually start into a relationship.
There's a lot of crazy in you.
Yes, there is, but mine's at least healthy.
Right.
It is. Come on. I'm not a psychopath. Anyway, try and get into some of the things that they like. Like, a lot of guys like sports. So maybe if you could try to get into, maybe if they're into football, try to get into football. Or maybe soccer. You don't have to like everything they like, though, but just try to get into something that they like. Like me, if you really want to get my attention, talk video games to me, or zombies, or certain things that are drama, like theater stuff. There's a bunch of things that you can talk to someone about, and the other way too. I mean, guys, try to get into something girls like. Maybe you like. Maybe you can find an interest in talking about outfits, at least in so much as like, telling a girl that she looks good in this outfit. The point is try to find something that the other person is interested in. Because if you find something they're interested in, then they're going to want to hang out with you more because, let's face it, we are selfish people. We are very vain. We want to talk about what we want. And I'm not bashing on anyone for that. I have the same problem. Focus on the friendship, at least to a degree, because if you're focused, you're gonna give yourself away horribly if you make it terribly obvious that you like them. So don't try not to give it away. And if you do give it away, because some people can't help that, this is going into my next point. Be honest. Don't lie. If someone asks you, if you like this person, and you do, your options are to find some way to nonchalantly shrug it off, or tell the truth. If the person asks you if you like them, your only option really is to tell the truth. If you lie, that doesn't set a good tone. And there are some girls who they will shut you out entirely because you lied. And then later you go back and be like, yeah, remember when I said I didn't like you? That's because I wasn't ready for you to know I liked you yet. That'll work in some cases. It will fail you miserably in other cases. I speak from experience. Massages are nice. There are several of my friends who I give massages to. I just do it because massages make people feel better. Do whatever you can to make them feel comfortable. That's always good. Like I said, massages are nice. It helps get things loose, get things flowing as they should be, like blood flow and such. I don't know that many people who would oppose a massage unless they just don't like being touched, or they don't like being touched in certain areas. Try to make them laugh. If you can make someone laugh, you've got a pretty good in with them, because we all love to laugh. I don't know a single person who doesn't love to laugh. Now, I could probably think of some people who it's a pain in the butt to make them laugh, but you always try. Listen. People like to talk, so if you're prepared to listen, even if you hardly have a clue of what they're talking about, then that's going to be something good. And feel free to ask them about some things, because that just encourages them to talk to you more. And like I said, people like to talk. So just be prepared to listen. If you're not prepared to listen, they'll probably zone in on it, and then they'll be put off because you're not listening. Tips for girls to attract guys. Wear something cute on regular days, but for something special, like for Valentine's Day, spectacular. And what I mean by this is, don't focus so much about being all gussied up for them. No. I mean, you wear something cute, like something you'd already wear. Because let's face it, you girls tend to wear cute things. Even if you don't think it's all that cute, we probably think it's kind of cute. When I say wear something spectacular, I just mean wear something that accentuates you more. You use things like holidays, like Valentine's Day, as just an excuse to show off what your mama gave you. Now, I'm not saying dress slutty all the time. I'm not saying dress slutty on these occasions. No. Slutty, no. This next one, there's kind of two sides. It's a two-sided coin with this one. You want to be sweet and or feisty. Both can be turn-ons for guys. If you're sweet, then you're just this wonderful, beautiful ray of sunshine for them. And it's just moth to a flame. You are this radiant flame, they are the moth. Now, the other aspect, though, is if you're feisty, that can also be a turn-on, too, because it's kind of that aspect of you're so cute when you're angry. Listen to him when he talks about his problems. Everyone has problems, and girls will talk to guys, or guys will talk to girls about their problems. Listen to him. Because then he's going to feel comfortable. Then he's going to feel safe with you. And as much as guys try to put on this whole, oh yeah, I'm a man, oh, muscles, oh, I'm so tough. Guys can be big softies. We can be wimps. You kick us between the legs, and we're down for the count, pretty much. You girls basically experience getting punched in the gut repetitively for 24 hours, for a week out of every month. And then you give birth to a child, which is something ripping its way out between your legs. And we think getting kicked between the legs is bad. So, guys are kind of wimps when you think about it. We try to act all manly and tough, but Yeah. So occasionally a guy will come to you and he'll have problems. Maybe he's got trouble with his parents, or maybe someone's being a dick to him, or I don't know. But listen to him talk about his problems. He'll feel safe around you, he'll feel comfortable, and then you have more of an into getting into a relationship with him. When you're going to do a get together, like maybe you and some friends are going to go to a movie, um, consider whether he'd actually want to or not. Like if you're going to go see this big chick flick, then prepare yourself for him to say no. But invite him nonetheless, because you don't know for certain. Tip for both, don't assume. When you assume, you make an ass out of you and me. And I spelled it out, I'm not cursing. It's a play on spelling. I'm a nerd. Don't be surprised if they don't end up going for you. I mean, it's bound to happen that there's going to be someone who they just aren't all that into you, and you have to accept that. If after all this they don't seem to be into you and they reject you, then you know this isn't all guaranteed to work out. But there's some pretty good tips. They've worked for me in any instance that I can think of. Now on to some do's for guys. Do whatever you can to make her smile. There are some girls who you can just go and poke them in the side. There are some girls who they like, they're like Olaf. They like warm hugs. And there are some girls, easiest thing to do, make them laugh. Crack a joke. Do something stupid. And just make them smile. Wear decent clothes that make you look good. This advice, like with the girls, you probably already do this. But there are some guys who you could stand to do it better. Don't sag your pants. That doesn't make you look cool. It makes you look like an idiot who forgot to wear a belt. And you really want to know where things like swag and dropping your pants came from? Homosexuality. Now, I'm not bashing on homosexuality. I'm bashing on the people who are using these things and thinking, oh, this makes me so cool. Okay, dropping your pants so that they're hanging low. That's a sign that they used in prison to say, hey, I'm available. And keep in mind, it would be the guys who would do this, or I don't know if the girls would do this, I know the guys would. And it's an all-male prison. And they're advertising that they're available. So think about that when you are sagging your pants. And it's really annoying. It's really annoying when there's a guy who is wearing a pants and he sags them, but he has another pair of pants underneath, which he is also sagging. I have seen this. 2 pairs of pants and I could still see the guy's underwear. It's ridiculous. And swag. I don't know how it got to mean this whole cool thing, but swag is an acronym. It means secretly we are gay. Really? You're gonna talk about how cool you are because you have swag. Like I said, I'm not bashing on gay people. I'm bashing on these idiots who are using things like laying their pants hang down low and showing their underwear, and who are saying that everything is so swagalicious, and they don't know what this stuff actually means. Now, if you are homosexual and you're doing this stuff for the correct reasons, like secretly you are gay, or you are wanting to show you're available, fine. I don't judge you. You're fine. But come on. That's like the same. That's like with how black people have gotten to use the N-word, you know what I'm talking about, as a, like, my brother, my friend. How does that make sense? It doesn't. Enough judging humanity for now. Let's move on to the next step. Another do for guys? Serve them. Now, I'm not meaning to be a slave to them. And girls, if you're gonna make a guy a slave to you, don't do it. That's not a turn on. Well, I could see some arguing for that, but let's kind of keep this PG, shall we? Serve the girl. Offer to carry her books. If she drops her pencil, pick up her pencil. Girls, accidentally drop your pencil. But let's face it, you probably already know this trick, and girls have been doing this for years. And guys, we kind of caught on to it over time. Over a lot of time. So, just go along with it. Just make sure that you don't allow her to treat you like a slave. I've dated a girl who treated me like I was her own personal servant and she could order me to do whatever she wanted. It was not fun. Good tip for guys. Girls, you can take this tip too, but you don't really need it so much. Guys, get in good with a girl's friends. If you're not in good with her friends, then they're going to they're liable to do whatever they can in their power to sabotage your potential relationship, and they will ward you off. Or they will try to test and tempt you, and you don't really need that. None of us really need to be tested and tempted more than we already are. Comfort her when she's sad. Comfort her, make her feel safe, make her feel loved. Just, because there are several situations for any person where they end up getting hurt by something or someone and they just don't feel loved, even if they don't realize that that's what they're feeling, or rather not feeling. Some don'ts. Don't stalk them. There are various levels of stalking, though. If you're just trying to figure out, like if you're at school with them and you just want to know what kind of classes they have, and some minor things like that, that's one thing. Like if you happen to notice that they walk into room 305 at their 3A class, that's one thing.
They do.
Just don't go creeper status and follow them home. That's not okay. Don't lie. Don't ever lie. Don't lie ever. Even if you're not pursuing somebody, don't lie. Just don't ever lie to anybody ever.
I think they get it.
I'm just trying to make sure that they get the point. Because I've learned this lesson, and I'm so glad I've learned it. It's a pain in the butt at first. It can be a pain in the butt as you go along, but it's a lot more pain in the butt to try to deal with lies. Especially if you're bad at keeping track of them, and you end up getting them interweaved, and you screw yourself over. So, don't lie. Lying can totally ruin your chances with a person. Don't lie. Now, there are exceptions to that, like you can be sarcastic, you can make jokes, but anything that really matters, don't lie about it. Don't be bluntly honest in every instance. There are some cases where you can work your way around it, so be clever with your words in that instance. Just don't be tricky. In it, whether you're being honest and just being clever with your words, or whether you're lying, don't be tricky, because that's just gonna make you look shady. Don't try to discourage the person from dating other people, not unless you're willing to step forth and, I don't care what gender you are, grow some balls and ask them out. My dad was my mom's shoulder to cry on for a few years, and then finally she realized, hey, this guy's been my shoulder to cry on, and he's kind of cute. Don't be clingy. Just, clingy is never really good. If you're slightly clingy, and it's like that sort of cute sort of thing, that's one thing. But don't be clingy and crawling all over them, especially before the relationship. Because if you're hanging on them every second of every day, you're going to give yourself away, and they might kind of grow a little tired of your company. Unless they like you, they're as mad about you as you are about them, then they'll be oh so happy to be around you near so much. But chances are you might not be that fortunate. So don't be clingy. Don't daydream about being with them. this goes along with the focus on being friends. Don't daydream about being with them, because then when if those if you're not able to be with them, if they're dating other people, if you've been daydreaming about being with them, then it's gonna crush you, because daydreams shattered. Don't chase someone who clearly doesn't like you. You will ruin yourself. And don't think, I can't be more clear about this. Don't think that you can wear away at them, that you can eventually make them like you. I realize that sometimes works in the movies, but you are so not likely to make that work in real life. You can try it if you are insane enough to. I have. It failed. I finally got over the person because I realized they clearly don't like me, and if they're going to be this stubborn about it, then they're not worth my time and affection. Their loss. Don't fall for someone just because they're cute. Now, you could try to pursue someone, and which is why I say try to get to know them, because once you get to know them, maybe you realize, oh, this person's cute, but they're a jerk. So don't fall for someone just because they're cute. Make sure you get to know them a little bit before you just go into asking them out. And don't let all of your crazy out at once. Especially not before you're even in the relationship. Because then they're just going to see all your crazy, and they're going to be like, okay, this person's a weirdo. Don'ts for girls. Don't talk them to death about girl stuff. And you should be able to tell when a guy's getting talked to death about your girl stuff, because his eyes will glaze over. You'll just hear a lot of, uh-huh, yeah, oh, really, uh-huh, yeah, yeah, mm-hmm. Don't play hard to get. You haven't gotten him yet. You're pursuing him. Don't play hard to get. You can do it a tiny bit. Tiny. Because then, perchance you could reverse psychology him into pursuing you, which is what you want. But don't play hard to get. It's kind of attractive, but not that much. Not as much as you might think. Don't go for the bad boy. Seriously, don't go for the bad boy. You might think, oh, I can change him. So many girls think that, and then they wind up getting the crud beat out of them. Basically, Chris Brown and Rihanna. And don't be afraid to go for the nice guy. I mean, come on. Would you rather have bad boy, I can change him, or good guy, who's already what you're trying to change the bad boy into? And don't try to change the nice guy into a bad boy. Don't overload with makeup. You girls are beautiful. You're wonderful. You're fantastic. You're radiant. You don't need to overload with makeup. If you want to do some light stuff that is only accenting what you've got, that's one thing. If you're going on and just like pounding makeup on, it's not attractive. Some don'ts for guys. Don't talk her to death about guy stuff. If you're talking about sports or video games and she's clearly not into that stuff, then she's gonna glaze over, and it's just don't talk people to death about stuff that they're clearly not interested in. Don't try to be a tough guy. Don't try to play it off like you're this big tough guy, because chances are you're going to act like you have something to prove, and that doesn't tend to work out in your favor. It doesn't tend to come off as attractive. Don't go emo. Don't be nasty. If you want to make some slightly dirty humor, fine. But make sure you gauge your dirty humor and your nastiness. You gauge that based on the girl. Though, because if you are talking with this Christian saintly girl who she would never sin a day in her life, and you're gonna talk about weed and dick and fart jokes, you're probably gonna strike out. Before I cut things off, there's one very clear thing that needs to be addressed.
A horrible, wretched thing.
It's called
The friend zone.
The friend zone is a horrible, dangerous, vile place that far too many people find themselves in and far too few escape from. If you do get stuck in the friend zone, there are a few things that you can do to get out. You can try being funny. You can try being there when they need you. You can try waiting them out, but be careful about how hard you try to wait them out. I don't know that many ways to get out of it, except be yourself, be who you want to be. Don't care about whether they friend zone you or not. Just be you. Be everything you are. And if they don't want to pursue a relationship with you, then pursue somebody else, because they're not worth it. However, if you are being you and they come around, then that's really a person you do want to pursue, because then at that point you know that they like you for you. I'm going to end this little chat here. I think I've said everything that I want to say. You have anything you want to chip in?
Well, apparently skin is a big deal to most people.
Don't be bitter just because you're a skull
without a body.
Thanks for watching. Like and favorites if you enjoyed. Subscribe to become a VIP today. And we will see you all next time.
Have a great day.
day.